Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating and Yachting Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we're continuing our coverage of the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show and vessels that you should go see. Today's episode, we're talking about catamarans. Now, we're going to talk about both power catamarans and outboard catamarans in this vessel. So if you're interested in either, stick around. You're going to love what we have for you. 7 different manufacturers with 11 different vessels that we're going to be talking about today. Sound about right? Perfect. So with that, remember, hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and the notification bell icon to make sure that you get notified anytime a new video comes out. And with that, let's kick it off. Am I going first?
You kind of, you get to go first, but
what did I skip?
When you said the like button, you kind of questioned your like button.
I was like,
there is a like button there. He wasn't quite sure, but make sure you hit it.
I don't know if to call it like a thumbs up or like the like. Yeah,
I think we all recognize it as the like button anymore, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, hit the like button. Anyway,
and subscribe.
With that, the first manufacturer I'm talking about is WorldCat. Now we all know WorldCat catamarans are great vessels, especially if you like fishing.
Yeah.
I love what they do for their fishing vessels. And they're going to bring 2 models to the Fort Lauderdale International.
2 new models.
2 new models to the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show this year. The first model we're going to talk about is the 265 CCX. This is the center console version of the 2 models that they're bringing. This has 25 feet, 6 inches length overall and a 9-foot beam. It has an adjusted hull style, and that hull style is meant to enhance performance, efficiency, comfort, and stability. Now, the second vessel they're bringing is the 265 DCX. So this is the dual console version. Same length overall, 25 feet, 6 inches. Same beam, 9 feet. The difference between these two is the center console for me is much more like I'm going to attack fishing almost every time I go out on the vessel. And the dual console for me is I'm also going to use this for
a little bit of pleasure,
cruising, days out, sandbars, etc. So the dual console optimizes space, storage, and comfort. And it's built for a day of cruising, fishing, or whatever else you might need it for.
Right. It's really just becomes a preference thing at this point.
Yes, it really is. And so it really, you have great options with either. It just depends on how you're going to use the vessel itself, which is, I think, the number one thing that we always tell people when they ask us for advice on, well, what do you think is a good brand? We always say, well, there's millions of options when it comes to the perfect vessel for you. It's not just the brands, it's the perfect vessel for you. And to answer your question, the question we have to ask in return is, what are you going to use the vessel for? What are you going to use the boat for?
Right.
Or maybe you don't want a boat, you want a yacht, or maybe vice versa. So what I love about what WorldCat's doing with the 265 is that they've given you options because they know that people use the vessel for different purposes. And I'll hand it over to you.
Love the WorldCat and what they're doing.
They're a great brand.
It's incredible. So the one I'm going to go over is another outboard catamaran. We've actually laid eyes on this, and it's always a boat that's got a buzz going on around it, right? And I'm going to be talking about the Caymas 44 CT. Last time we saw this, I believe it debuted at Miami last year. So this is its first FLIBS debut. And you should be able to find this at the convention center, the Broward Convention Center. And this is a semi-symmetrical double-stepped hull, and it has a sharp dead rise to allow it to really effortlessly cut through the water. Other notable things about this is it has 1,000 gallons of fuel capacity. So you can really go offshore and have a full day of fishing. You can run this over to Bimini and back, no problem whatsoever. It also has a shallow draft to it, so you can get into some certain areas. You can use this as your sandbar visit. So you can go fishing all morning long, pick up the family, go straight to the sandbar. My favorite thing to do. But being that this is really a fishing vessel and designed to do such a thing, you're going to have massive live wells, a big fish box of storage, and many different toys. There is a ton of customizable features on a Caymas, just like any other Caymas. And this is one that's just going to be really a great fishing boat and give you some actually, like catamarans do, is going to allow you to get into the shallows, right? Going to allow you to be a little bit more stable on the water. With that, this is a 44 feet, 1 inch in length, 12-foot beam. And with that 1,000 gallons of fuel, that's just what amazes me. you can really get far offshore and come back and maybe not have to visit the fuel pump.
Yeah.
Or do multiple trips and not visit the fuel pump, right? But that one fuel visit.
Yeah.
But the fishing's all worth it.
It's an investment.
The fishing's all worth it.
Absolutely.
So that's Caymas. You can find them at the Broward County Convention Center this year with the 44 CT. I highly suggest if you're in the mood for a outboard catamaran that's a great fishing boat, this is one you should go pay attention to.
Now, next, I'm talking about Aspen Power Catamarans, and specifically a FLIBS Premier, their Aspen C128, which has 46 feet length overall, 13-foot, 11-inch beam. Now, when you think of the C128, what I want you to think about is what I wrote down is luxury, performance, efficiency, and all of that in an outboard catamaran style. What was really interesting as I researched this vessel is the fact that they have their patented asymmetrical hull, which helps provide for a smooth cruise and enhance fuel economy, right? Or fuel efficiency. With this vessel, you get a spacious salon, you get a full gallery, and I think my favorite element of the Aspen C128 is the flybridge. Obviously, you get a flybridge helm, but the lounge up there is, I think, incredible. I like flybridges generally. I'm more of a fan of a flybridge style versus no flybridge. So when I looked at it, the lines look great. Obviously, Aspen is a very trusted brand. And they put everything that they could into this vessel to make sure that the outboard cat style, catamaran was really top notch.
And we actually have in our November issue this boat on a full boat review.
On a full review, yeah.
Which is
which is also why I don't want to say too much. Because I want you guys to go get the magazine because we put a lot of great content.
We'll stop by our booth and get the November issue.
Oh yeah,
right?
You can do that, and then you could go over and view the boat in person.
Right now we're putting it all together.
That's a strategy. I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
See. There's a reason I put it there. So the next company that we're going to speak about is one that is just amazed me this entire year, right? With all that they have done. And that's Aquila. I can't even count the amount of new models that has come out with Aquila. So I'm really excited to spend some time with them. But one of the things that they're going to be featuring is the new 46 Power Catamaran, so a real cruising vessel, which is 47 feet, 2 inches in length, 23 feet, 3-inch beam. So this is a nice size vessel. And it is premiering at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show this year. It enjoys an expansive outdoor areas with stylish lounges and integrated gathering zones and a spacious interior with panoramic windows that flood the salon with natural light and ocean views. Anything that Aquila seems to be doing this year is just a wow factor to me. I mean, they've brought out the coupes. The 2 new coupes that they have. They have the new Molochais that they redesigned a little bit. They also just announced new sailing vessels that they're doing. So it just, again, it is a company that is absolutely amazing me time after time. I think the quality of their builds is just unbelievable at this point. They're doing a stand-up job, and they're really trying to command this section of the market. And I think they're doing a great job. So if you are in the market for anything catamaran, go look at Aquila because they've got the whole catamaran segment from, I believe, 28 feet up to 70 feet. So it is worth really going and taking a look at them. And I believe they're going to have an Aquila 70 at the show as well. So if you want to see a really standout boat, go see that. I mean, last year we were amazed by the 50.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to top that this year.
No, I can imagine.
So I really look forward to it. Pay attention to us on social because I'm sure Ian and I will be visiting them and grabbing some stuff to put up on reels and a whole bunch of different stuff. So I'll let you go on with the next one.
Sounds good. So next I'm covering Leopard Power Catamarans, another trusted brand. The 3 vessels I'm going to talk about for Leopard are the 40 PC, the 46 PC, and the 53 PC. Now, the 40 PC is 40 feet length overall, 21 foot, 8-inch beam. It has a max speed of 23 knots and a cruising speed of 15 knots. It has 3 cabins, a salon, a galley, a flybridge lounge. The owner's suite is on the starboard side with a full stand-up shower in the head. And the guest cabins are on the port, and the head on that side is also a full stand-up, right? It's not a wet head. It's a full stand-up head. It's great. Jumping over to the 46 PC, you're going to see obviously much more space. 46 feet 4-inch length overall, 24 feet 1-inch beam, a max speed of 23.5 knots, a cruising speed of 16 knots. So you do also see a little improvement in that space. And the 46 PC actually has a 3 or 4 cabin layout. And the 3 cabin would also have 3 heads, and the 4 cabin would have 4 heads. So when you look at the layout, it's really economic in what they're doing, and everybody has privacy, which I think is fantastic. Now,
I think that goes with really well with their model of how they do business, right?
Yeah.
Because it's also the moorings, and those are the boats that the moorings use.
Right. And then the third vessel is the 53 PC. So this is 50 feet 6 inches length overall, 25 feet 2 inches in beam. Their max speed is 24 knots and the cruise speed is 17 knots. So again, more space and also more speed. Now, the cool thing about the 53 PC is it's refreshed for next level performance and comfort. It has an updated design, and their whole goal was to create an unmatched space within this size for power catamarans. So when you start looking at the layouts, and if you go and you see them in person, so whether you're researching online because you can't make it to FLIBS or visiting them in person, when you look at the layouts, you're going to see that the 53 PC is quite literally made for enhanced comfort and space so that you can enjoy both being in, say, a cabin or a salon or out on the water. They've made sure that you have everything you need for a great experience.
The next one I'm going to talk about is somebody that we've spent time with over the years. He's one of the original cat builders, and that's Horizon Power Cats. So it looks like they're going to have 2 boats there, the PC60, the PC68. These are models that they've been producing for a little bit of time, but they have constantly enhanced their models time after time. We've seen it with the power options that they have, the genset option with the special battery that they have, the phosphorus lithium battery, I think it was. That was with Victronics power and the special air conditioning. So I look to see what else they've added to these boats. They are a premium build. They make a great product. I think they really stand behind their product. Jason Ford and Richard Ford are great ambassadors of their brand. And I really look forward to seeing their boats once again and seeing what's new. What are they offering as options now that's going to be cutting edge technology? You know, and it just goes without saying, the reason that they're still here and still selling power cats is because they build an unbelievable quality product, right? And people recognize it.
Yeah. You know, the first...
And you can spot one from far away, right?
Absolutely.
You're like, that's a Horizon.
When I was first hired here, my first Palm Beach boat show was literally like 2 weeks later. And at the end of that, was
it even 2 weeks?
I think it was like the week I was hired, we were like setting up. And then the second week, we were at the Palm Beach boat show. And at the end of that, our editor
told you to wear your walking shoes too.
No. You just said don't wear like nice.
Don't wear dress shoes.
Dress shoes. Yeah, don't wear nice dress shoes. I was like, okay. You said wear something comfortable for walking on the docks. Understood. So at that time, our editor.
Now you understand it.
Yeah. At that time, our editor-in-chief, Steve Davis, had set up a almost like a sea trial to ride along with, I think, Richard on a Horizon Power Cat back down to Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And that was the first time I got to go on a vessel on a sea trial of any sort, like on the media side of things. So I remember getting on there. I remember how smooth the ride was. I remember how well it handled. And there was a lot to like this power catamaran. And that's the first impression I got of Horizon Power Cats. And without a doubt, they're doing everything they can to make sure that their owners fall in love with the vessel from the first time they get to ride on it.
Absolutely. Everybody that I know that's owned a Horizon loves their Horizon, don't want to give it up. Yeah. And if they're going to go to another boat, it's another Horizon.
Yeah. And I completely understand after doing that little sea trial, I was like, wow, this is something different.
Like I said, Richard and his son Jason are great ambassadors to their brand.
Absolutely.
And do a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So the last one you're going to cover, which is Iliad.
Yes.
Right? And Iliad's got some exciting stuff.
They do. Iliad is a great brand. I'm covering the 53F, which is just over 53 feet, 8 inches. And I say that because they have it as 53.7. And so if you do that, it's a little over 8 inches. Anyway, 25-foot beam, with a range of over 2,500 nautical miles.
Wow. Real cruising.
Real cruising. It has an expansive owner suite with generous headroom, which I think a lot of times is something that people forget, is to check out how much space you have when you stand up, right? So they have generous headroom. They want to make sure that you know that. They also have an alfresco flybridge lounge, which again, I've mentioned, I love a good flybridge. That lounge has a convertible teak table that can seat up to 10. So if you're going to entertain, you have the space to do it. They also up there have a refrigerator, a wet bar, an optional barbecue and ice maker. And it's also available, this is what I thought was really interesting about this model, as a hybrid. So you can go between diesel and electric power options, which I thought was great, especially if you're more environmentally conscious and you wanted to start transitioning over to something more electric. Their hybrid option on the 53F is something that you really want to consider.
I love the hybrid option. I think it's unbelievably great. You can enjoy silence on the water, right? We've talked about this many a times. I think there's nothing like hearing nothing but the water.
Right. You know, the peace and tranquility you experience in that moment.
It's what you always hear sailors talking about, right? But now you can experience it as a powerboat owner.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's very unique, very cool. And like you said, the peace, the tranquility, you know, it really allows you to relax and enjoy being on the water. But these are just a small sample of all of the catamarans that are going to be at FLIBS. There are many others that you can go take a look at, because there are catamarans from Fontaine Pajot, Prestige, and many, many other different brands, Two Oceans. You know, so there is a plethora of options out there. So if you're in the market for one, there's a lot of choices right now. They're all making advancements in their own segments of technology. So get out there, do your shopping, visit every single one of them, find out what's special to you. Put in the comments what's important to you, and maybe we can go over some of them. Let us know. Make sure you see everything at the show. Well, it's almost impossible unless you got a couple of days.
You got to be there a few days to make sure you see everything at the show. But if you go, make sure you check us out. Come visit us, because we're going to have a booth at Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. So make sure you come check us out. And if you have questions or comments that you want to tell us there, like, we're there all the time.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Me and James are running around, you know, talking to different manufacturers, taking photos, taking videos, and all of that. But you'll see us at the booth regularly. So if you wanted to tell us, hey, I just saw this boat, I think you guys should go cover it, come tell us, because we'll go do it.
Yeah. Even if we're not at the booth, leave a note for us.
Yeah, leave a note for us. Yeah.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Leave contact information too. Like, we'll reach out to you.
Absolutely. So that's it for this episode. Until next time, I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
We'll see you next week.